Turning now to your community focus. This week, Attleboro residents elected a new leader for their city in a special election. And joining us now live in studio is newly elected Mayor Kathleen DeSimone. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for having me, ladies. Thank you.
So you're going to be officially sworn in on March 11th.
Yes.
What's your top priority for the city?
Budget. It's that time of year, it's budget, so that is absolutely job one. We are up against it a little bit because we recently lost our budget director, but we need to get the budget to completion. And then job 1B is hiring a new budget director and a couple of other key positions that are much needed. So those are definitely the top issues.
What are some of your budget priorities?
Oh, well, continue to funding the schools, continue to adequately funding city government to provide effective and efficient services. That is one of the most important things to people. Clean water, trash picked up on time, no potholes, all the things you all struggle with Rhode Island. We have similar problems with the roads, so roads are certainly important. Okay. But it's the day-to-day, that's what the mayor does, is touch people on a day-to-day basis. So those are the most important things. And there's long-term other projects in the city, economic development, downtown redevelopment, stuff like that. Yeah.
Now, you were endorsed in this race by your predecessor, Paul Heroux.
Yes.
What about his leadership did you agree with?
I thought the mayor, well, first of all, he did a great job financially. The city is in better financial condition than it's ever been. And we have a $7 million rainy day fund. No one was laid off through the pandemic, so great leadership through the pandemic. And he moved the city forward in many ways, continued development downtown with the economic development director, and environmentally too. Things are much better, and we're continuing to work on environmental issues and things like that. But I think ultimately he steered the city through kind of a time of transition because we're different now. Cities have to grow and evolve, and I think Mayor Heroux has very much taken us into the next era. And it's a good place to be, and from the residents I've talked to, they like where we are and where we're headed to.
And now, is there anything that you disagree with him on?
Not as much what he did. Sometimes I might have handled things differently, but isn't that true? I guess we all have our different leadership styles and ways, but fundamentally I supported the majority of his measures throughout his tenure. And ultimately, though, my decision was not based upon whether I liked him or not or whatever. It was, is it good for the city? And if the answer to that is yes, then I supported it. And if I thought no, then I didn't. And that should always be the answer and the question in my mind.
The Attleboro Sun-Chronicle characterized your victory as a surprise win.
Yeah.
They noted that Jay DeLisio had more money. He was the acting mayor. They say he had more lawn signs. I haven't gone out and counted them myself.
Yeah.
Why do you think voters ended up giving you the edge?
Well, first of all, I'm not quite sure I would use that qualifier. I guess it depends who you talk to. Some folks might have been surprised. Some most definitely were not. I did a lot of old school politicking, which is knocking on doors, and the people that I were talking to, I got a very, very good response. So it was not a surprise to me, which is not to say that the end was ever secured. In terms of money, in politics, yeah, but you have to use it effectively too, right? And there's a whole lot involved with that. In terms of endorsements, lovely, but endorsements can cut both ways too, who's endorsing you. But at the end of the day, endorsements don't vote. The endorsement, the best endorsement you have is the obvious, is the vote of the people who voted, and those are the most valuable endorsements, and I like to think that I earned them. So I wasn't surprised, I'm happy, but I'm certainly qualified for the job. I have the education experience and the leadership skills, so it's not a surprise. Some people may not be happy with the result, but it was certainly a reasonable expectation that I might win, and I did.
And real quick now, not to rush things, but DeLisio has already said he plans to run again in the fall. Are you concerned at all that your time as mayor might be truncated by sort of this next upcoming election?
Sure, I'm not going to take that lightly, neither Jay nor anybody who might jump in. You take nothing for granted in politics. I think we have all learned that at this point in time, you take nothing for granted. But I will do what I always do, which is do the work to the best of my ability, do the right thing, and try to serve the city. And it's going to be what it's going to be. And I will just be me, which is how I ran and how I live. So not concerned. I'll run. I'm all in. I said I was all in September. I remain all in, and I will give it my everything. It's all going to be good, ladies. Trust me. It's going to be better than good. It's going to be great.
All right. We will wait and see. Attleboro Mayor-elect Kathleen DeSimone, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you both very much. Thank you.